Hello, class. I'm here with Madison. What's up? And Madison had some great questions here about their consulting project. So she came in wanting to ask here about a few things. So she first said, we're wanting to measure engagement right here. And with engagement, they were also measuring communication. So with engagement and communication, and she's like, should we focus on engagement, communication, or should we focus on stress? And my response was, well, okay, let's diagram this out. Why do each of these matter? So we started with engagement, and then engagement matters because it predicts ROI, dependent variables, DVs. It predicts turnover, sick days, and productivity. So engagement and stress matter because they predict those outcomes, right? Remember on our goals, our learning goals, it was productivity outcomes. So these are emotions, EMOT, right? Of engagement or stress. Why does engagement matter? Because it predicts that. But the next question is, how do we raise or lower, right? Engagement. We raise or lower it through the environment or by actions. Actions, now after their interviews at Chick-fil-A, they found out communication was a challenge. So now communication is an action that can predict engagement, which in turn can predict ROI, turnover, sick days, and productivity. Stress, if we were to measure that, we were thinking of measuring that, right, in conversation, but then realizing why is Chick-fil-A stressful? It was more or less hours, pay, and COVID, right? Those are the stressors. Those are environmental things that we cannot control right now. So it's more or less not worth our time to ask about stress because we can't control it. It just reminds people, oh shoot, I'm stressed. We can control engagement by predictors here. So communication is one of the things they can control. We know from my dissertation, making a friend at work is the top predictor of whether or not we're engaged at work. Additionally, the environment for women, role clarity is the top predictor of the environment, whether or not they're engaged. For men, it's who's in charge, whether or not you like your boss. That's the top predictor over here of environment. So, Madison, what are any other context to add? Or?
So, engagement is a mediator. How is it a mediator?
Ooh, crazy question. I love it. So over here on, you see it's like area 1, 2, 3. So there's a statistical term, mediator, moderator up here. So that means engagement, it's like going through a pipeline. These actions and environments go through the pipeline of engagement to arrive at the outcome variable, the ROI factors. So that's in statistical language, right? If you were to take like a doctoral stats class, you learn about mediators, moderators. So if it goes through the pipeline, it's engagement. There could be additional factors here. That could be moderators, things that raise or lower it according to the environment. So, but this is the model, right? So I encourage you in your stats projects to think about IVs, the predictors, and then dependent variables. What are the outcomes? And if there's some idea here that it like goes through, right? If it goes through the idea of an emotional engagement. So that's a common thing we think about in IO is predictor variables, outcome variables, and mediators, moderators. So it might help in some of your consulting projects to map it out, to diagram it. What do we think is happening? And that's something you could share with your clients. That's something that you could share in your presentations or consulting projects. So let me know if you have any other questions in the comments below, and I'll look forward to being in touch.